At the Mar-a-Lago Super Bowl party, after the first two quarters, are the TVs going to be on the halftime show with Bad Bunny or the halftime show with Kid Rock?
I think the president would much prefer a Kid Rock performance over Bad Bunny. I must say that.
Except he watched Bad Bunny because we've got the evidence of that. So bad news for Kid Rock. Basically, nobody was paying attention to him. Not even Donald Trump, who has so many partisan reasons to pretend to think that Kid Rock is interesting, as Carolyn Leavitt did there too. Imagine Carolyn Leavitt sitting down and paying attention to a Kid Rock performance. She ain't getting paid well enough to do that, propagandist though she is. So no, Donald Trump had his little party and he got all his little Republicans together. And they watched the Bad Bunny performance, even though they'd spent months leading up to it telling us nobody wants it, nobody's gonna watch it. And yet they, like every other conservative in the country, rushed to social media to talk about how they hated this thing that they didn't have to watch but chose to anyway. So here is the Truth Social post from Donald Trump, who says, "The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America." It's literally demonstrating the greatness of America. It doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity. You know, like how the Trump Kennedy Centers shut down for years because the right wing don't do art. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Look, I understand you have dementia and you're very confused by a lot of the words that you hear. He's speaking in Spanish. There are some people who understand it. I didn't, I did Duolingo for a few years, but I still was not able to follow anything that Bad Bunny was saying. That said, that's just because it's a different language. That's how languages work, buddy. Anyway, this show is a slap in the face to our country. Something stock market. There is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show. And watch, it'll get great reviews because I know I'm just saying this because I'm mad and I peed my pants and real people will like it. But I want to get out in front of that. And by the way, something kickoff rule, because Donald Trump can't get past the kickoff rule. So here's the thing. I watched some of the Super Bowl and I watched the Bad Bunny performance. I don't have a problem with Bad Bunny. I don't particularly love his music. I like him as a wrestler. I think he was pretty good on SNL. So I went into it with pretty much an open mind. And I watched it and I did not understand pretty much a word that he said. But you know what? As music performances goes, totally fine. It was fine. I appreciated spotting Pedro Pascal and Jessica Alba in there very briefly. I liked the changes of venue that they did. I liked seeing the Ensign parade to start it off. That was entertaining. I don't see how it's a slap in the face to the country. I feel like, JR, and I'll get you in here. I feel like the right wingers were like, he's gonna say something about, he's gonna hurt us, he's gonna make us look bad, he's gonna be so partisan. And so they just drafted all their tweets, but he didn't do that. The closest he came to being political is that like he acknowledged that there are other countries in our hemisphere. He showed their flags, I guess. He didn't talk about ICE, he didn't talk about immigration. He showed someone getting like an icy or something. Is that a slap in the face? Was it the 5-year-old kid? Was that the slap in the face? Was it the bodega? What was the tall grass? I don't understand, JR, what it is that they are performatively pretending to have an issue with here.
Well, the thing that they wanted to make sure people thought was that everything would be horrible before it even happened. That's why he went with I can't understand a damn thing they're saying. I went to 2 Super Bowls, John, Iadarola, and the halftime shows was Bruce Springsteen and The Who. I hated both shows. I say it all the time. Both of those shows, I was like, dang, I'm going to do 2 Super Bowls in my entire life, and I get these 2 performances. And there's this weird thing. I barely understood what The Who was saying.
Yeah.
It's weird how that works. And when you don't understand what they're saying, you can do this one thing, you can sit and watch and go, okay, that was a halftime show, wasn't that great? Hey, when's the third quarter gonna start? Because who cares if you don't like the halftime show? I really don't care if you don't like the halftime show. But the thing is, the reason they didn't like the halftime show and they wanted to let everyone know that they didn't like the halftime show with their pre-written drafts about how much they hated it was only because they didn't want other people to pay attention and maybe see some of the messages in said halftime show. maybe see the difference between all the hate that comes from this administration, talks about these very people, demonizes them, make sure that we separate them from their humanity, their culture, who they are, their contributions to the society and the world, making sure all that stuff that was exhibited in that halftime show, whether you understood a word or not, old man, whether or not you got it, you got something from it because it visually showed who these folks were and it showed how much they actually mean something to our society. That's what they don't want people to see. They know that if people have the unifying message behind someone else besides this white supremacist in the White House, that they might have a problem on their hands with people actually coming together and seeing what is we always said this country was supposed to be, but these white supremacists never actually believed in.
Yeah. Well, why don't we give some demonstrations of exactly what you're saying there? First of all, graphic 2, this is just the evidence that they were playing the halftime show, which I just change it. Just change the channel for 15 minutes. I don't understand why they watched it. It's because they love being angry. Laura Loomer says, someone calling an ICE raid at the Super Bowl. What are all of these foreign flags? Laura, are you triggered? Did the fabric make you feel uncomfortable? You need to deport someone because there's a flag that you don't like? I thought we had free speech. I thought corporations could do what they want. It's weird how easily triggered you are by a US citizen engaging in art that you don't personally prefer. Weird life that you lead. Charles Gasparino says, Bad Bunny sucked, but you knew that I peeked in. Oh, I was watching Turning Point, and evidently I got bored so quickly that I decided to switch over to watch Bad Bunny. He was watching Bad Bunny the entire time. That's the thing. And that was really good, just not good enough to keep my attention so that I would watch it. Bad Bunny plays to a nation the left wants, but most of the nation doesn't. Look at his album sales, you jackass. He's doing fine. Shame on NFL commish for taking this great game into AOC territory. I don't even know what that means. Because they're both Puerto Rican or what? I literally don't even understand what his argument is. Gunther Eagleman says, lol, Bad Bunny's a flop. Half the stadium went in the tunnels to watch the TPUSA halftime show on their phones. That is some real, I'm going into these lib cafes and they keep saying they love Trump energy. No, Gunther Eagleman, none of that actually happened and you are a sad mofo. Meanwhile, this is what Bad Bunny was doing. Just, he's got American flags and together we are America. That's the political statement, by the way, that the right absolutely hates. That we're better together. We always have been. That's what our country always has been. That's the statement that bothers them so goddamn much. Anyway, I want to just read one more freak out. This is Kash Patel's girlfriend, who's actually a bit nuanced compared to some of the others, says, unpopular, Republicans need to unite and get on better messaging because this branding is fantastic and allows all Dems to get behind it. Also, super aesthetic. Sorry, Kash, I think she's saying that she thinks Bad Bunny's hot. But anyway, so yeah, that is good advertising. And then someone responds and says, this is disgusting. Can we just, all American halftime with Bad Bunny's disgusting? What is disgusting about it? So she responds, so I agree with you. I didn't watch the show, but the messaging is pretending to cosplay that they're proud to be Americans. I thought this show would be cross-dressing and anti-ICE. I'm hearing it wasn't. And I see all over the place the right not uniting. So hold on, so it wasn't any of those things that you thought it was gonna be, and you didn't see it, but you agree that it's disgusting, even though you didn't watch it, according to you. Who's cosplaying? Who's performing right now? Maybe he's actually proud of being an American in his way and not just in a way where you just want to deport people all day long. Maybe there's a different way to be proud of being an American. And finally, I just got to acknowledge Jake Paul, peeing his pants over this whole thing, complaining, calls Bad Bunny a fake citizen, which AOC responds and says, no, he's a citizen because that's what Puerto Ricans are. And then points out that it's the Pauls that moved to Puerto Rico to try to evade taxes or whatever, when he's actually doing things, funding low-income kids access to arts and sports programs and all of that stuff. These people are so pathetic. These crusty little weirdos. With the cost of everything going up, here at TYT, we're always trying to help you guys out and save you some money. Your cell phone bill is the last place you should be getting ripped off. But if you're with Verizon or AT&T, chances are you're way overpaying for the plan you're on. That's why TYT is teaming up with Noble Mobile, the only cell phone plan that pays you to use your phone less. With their Noble plan, get unlimited data for only $50 a month. But the real game changer is the cash back you get for your unused data. The less data you use, the more cash back you get. It's a win-win. Stop letting big wireless rip you off. Choose a company that aligns with your values and isn't trying to milk you for every last cent. And by switching to Noble, you're directly supporting TYT in our mission of bringing you honest, independent news. So give Noble a try and make the switch today. Scan the QR code on the screen now or visit go.tyt.com/plan. That's go.tyt.com/plan.